A bizarre scene caught on camera in Northwest Houston. A man strips down in the middle of traffic. The story behind this video.
A shocking sight on a Texas road. A horse riding the back of that pickup truck. People are not happy about this one, but is the driver in any trouble?
Plus, college students going to great lengths to get some much needed cash. Texas is now a hot spot for sugar babies. We get your take on this growing trend.
From the KHOU 11 studios, this is H-Town Rush.
First up at 5, are you ready to go back to bed? There's a new Houston business that wants to take advantage of your desire to sleep.
The Nap Bar will offer you a space to sleep for a price, of course. We'll take you inside the business coming up at 5:20.
That brings us to this question. Would you pay to take a nap? Tweet us your thoughts with the hashtag HTownRush.
Paying for a nap?
Yeah.
Just pull over to the parking lot and just
there you go.
For free, right?
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to H-Town Rush. I'm Lisa Hernandez.
And I'm Deborah Duncan in for Russ. Cheetah, get our rush block started.
Yeah, any given day in our parking lot, you got some people with the seat laid back. You know how you do. That's very true. Well, good morning to you. Today, you know, you may be able to lean the seat back and not even have to put on the air conditioning. We're starting off in the 60s, but then by the afternoon, mid to upper 70s. So it'll be on the humid side for your Tuesday. Let's talk about the fog. Now, fog this morning, not as thick as yesterday, but we're still dealing with slight reduced visibilities, down to 1/4 mile in Galveston, 1/2 mile in Angleton, north of town this morning, between about 5 to 8 miles. So just keep in mind low cloud ceilings as you head on into work. Temperatures in the 60s across the board. High temperatures this afternoon will be in the mid to upper 70s with about a 30% chance for a shower. We will talk more about the cold front expected tomorrow, Steph, coming up in about 6 minutes.
All right, Cheetah, sounds good. 5:01, our first accident of the morning. You can see it right here on our Houston TransStar camera. Look at this activity, southbound side of the North Freeway. As you approach the North Loop, we've got a truck that spun around wildly. You can see the driver's side door got banged in there. Another car involved in this crash. HPD did arrive to the scene very quickly, but all of that consumed in those 2 center lanes. So we'll more than likely see a break in traffic right now. You want to take the frontage road to get around it. Deborah and Lisa.
Thank you, Steph.
Thank you. Take a look at this. Exclusive video shows a man jumping into traffic and then taking off his clothes.
This happened in Northwest Houston. Our Janelle Fort joins us live. And Janelle, before this, that man frightened people out of Walgreens.
Yeah, police say he attacked 2 employees here. He put one in a chokehold, stabbed another with a pin, and then bit a random customer who was just stepping in to help. Now, that bizarre video, it picks up after that tirade. He ran outside of the store here into oncoming traffic, began taking off his clothes, and then hopped on top of an SUV. Here's that clip. Don't worry, we've blurred it. Police identify that man as 26-year-old Omar Sanchez. At one point, you can hear him telling officers that he's high, which would explain his erratic behavior. Now, police say this whole thing started when he walked into this Walgreens asking to use the phone and was denied. We spoke with a woman who shot this video. She says it's not at all what she was expecting to see on a Sunday morning.
Immediate reaction was, I have to report this. There's already help on the way. There's already people assisting. No one had their camera out.
Now, as of last night, Sanchez was still in the hospital recovering. He's facing a number of charges, including assault. Sending it back to you guys in the studio.
All right, thank you, Janelle. Now to breaking news. Overnight, more countries and airlines grounded the Boeing 737 MAX 8, the jet involved in Sunday's deadly Ethiopian air crash. All 157 people were killed when that jet crashed just minutes after takeoff. More than a dozen airlines outside the U.S. have now grounded the plane, and 2 U.S. senators want them grounded here, too. But the FAA says it does not have enough information to make that call as of yet.
The Rush Block continues with the day's other big stories, starting with the survivor of a violent attack, now helping others.
The Houston woman brutally beaten after she says she was trying to defend herself against a sexual assault is now using her voice to help others. Rachel Bush was almost beaten to death back in January, and although she has a long road to recovery ahead, she is now using her voice to be an advocate for other victims of domestic violence.
A shocking sight on a Texas highway. This driver hauling a horse in the bed of his pickup truck on 59. It happened in Polk County. A DPS trooper did pull him over. The man was questioned, but we're told he isn't facing any charges because in Texas, this isn't illegal. Plenty of you say the driver needs to find a safer way to transport animals. Construction on Highway 288 giving neighbors a headache.
I don't need an alarm clock. 288 is my alarm clock.
Contractors built a noise barrier to shield some homes, but neighbors near McGregor Park say they need a wall too. Contractors say they'll consider it. In Venezuela, the U.S. State Department has pulled all remaining staff from its embassy. Millions of people have been left without electricity or water after 4 days of blackouts. President Nicolas Maduro blames the U.S., but American-backed opposition leader Juan Guaido blames government corruption. Meantime, Secretary of State Mike Pompeo visits Houston today. He'll deliver the keynote address at CERAWeek, an annual gathering of energy industry leaders.
That is your Rush Block. Today's big stories from here in Houston and around the world. Let us know what's going on with you. Tweet us with the hashtag HTownRush.
Okay, so this story has you buzzing on social media. 2 Texas universities topped a list for having the most sugar babies, and we're not talking about the candy.
No, that's someone with a sugar daddy or a sugar, someone who they're dating someone and they pay for everything.
Yes,
Brandy's here to explain what's going on. Brandy.
Yeah, kind of a weird assignment this morning, but now you know there is a website called Seeking Arrangement that connects successful men and women with sugar babies. And most of them are college students using that money to pay tuition and loans. So the site released a list of the fastest growing sugar baby schools. This is it. The University of North Texas comes in at number 9. 192 new students signed up in 2018, bringing the total number of students registered on the site to 573. And then there's UT San Antonio, that's number 19. It has almost 900 sugar babies, but fewer signed up last year. So maybe that's a trend in the right direction. When we shared this story, you guys had something to say about it. Raymond wants to know if sugar mamas are a thing. He has some student loan debt to pay off. In fact, they are a thing. And AJ wants to know if there's an age limit, you know, for a friend. Greg offered a translation here, going a little more serious. Education costs so much in this country. People are literally selling their bodies to pay for it. We're talking about $3,000 a month is the average payment on Seeking Arrangement. And Rachel calls it embarrassing. She says, in a time where women are working for more respect, this is a joke. She says, I have plenty of school debt, but I was taught to take care of myself. I think back to when I was in school and I was taking 18 credits and I had, you know, like 3 jobs.
Yeah, I had 3 jobs too.
Yeah,
I would clean apartments to get them ready for rent and then head to school. Nice. Yeah, I saw a Lifetime made-for-television movie because I was bundled up one day. You know how you bundle up in your robe and you watch all those movies like it's a marathon.
But it
was actually based on a true story, and it was all about this, and it did not end well. So if someone's thinking about it, watch that Lifetime movie.
Oh my goodness.
I mean, we have about 2,000 of them just in the state of Texas registered for this. So it's a big state, though. It's a small portion of the population.
All right.
This is one of those cases where if it's just one. Right.
Let's get to Cheetah right now with the one thing we need to know.
You know what, Deborah, I've seen that movie actually. I know which one you're talking about. Not to give it away, but she may have ended up getting taken, but her dad saves her. I totally remember. It was a good movie. It was a good movie. Check it out. Okay, take a look here. Coast to coast this morning. Even though we're dealing with a nice little area of low pressure that's going to be moving in here locally tomorrow, coast to coast, no weather-related airport delays if you're catching a flight. So that's some good news stuff if you're flying outbound today.
Yeah, very good news. And the Gulf Freeway looks good by Hobby Airport. So we were talking about that earlier, but on the other side of I-45, the north portion of the freeway, southbound lanes approaching the North Loop, traffic at a screeching halt. We have a crash up ahead now blocking 3 center lanes. So you want to take that frontage road, and coming up, I'll show you another look at the actual scene. Brandy, good morning.
Good morning, Steph. It's coming up on 5:09, and it is time for other news stories that'll help get you through your Tuesday. DNA testing company 23andMe has a new feature in its kits that can tell you more than just your ancestry. It's going to look at your DNA and let you know if you're likely to get type 2 diabetes and whether your family has a history of the disease. 23andMe hopes it will motivate people who are predisposed to be proactive about their risk. NASA scientists are about to get their hands dirty. They are studying rocks from the moon that have been sitting in storage for nearly half a century. The Apollo missions 15, 16, and 17 brought those samples back to Earth. And NASA says it waited all these years to open the moon samples on purpose because the technology they wanted wasn't around back then. Now it is. So most of us would be happy to win any lottery prize just once. Not enough for one Virginia woman who cashed in 30 times in a day. Deborah Brown bought 30 Pick 4 tickets, all with the same numbers. She said she just had a feeling about them. Her numbers were drawn, and all those $1 tickets added up to $150,000 in winnings. The odds of matching all the numbers, by the way, 1 in 10,000. I'd say this lady is lucky. She needs to go buy a lottery ticket.
Jeez.
She's not 30.
This is where greed is good. Yeah, just buy a whole bunch of tickets. That's where it's good.
Good for her. I want to get on her office pool.
Right.
Can we join your pool? Exactly. Timer now is 5:10. It's Barbie Dream.